Fair use, fair use. Here we're going to have Dr. Umar Johnson, aka Dr. Ifa Tunde, explain why snow bunnies are getting more black men than black women nowadays. Now, this is a point that he has reiterated many, many times. Actually, this is not the first time of him saying this. So once you hear what he says, just realize he has said this many times. It's just um, Umar Johnson tends to pander to black women, but he says many things that are actually very, very not only conservative, but he has said a lot of quote unquote based things. It's just those things don't really get pushed to the forefront. He has said some very intriguing things in the past. It's just unfortunately because he panders to black women a lot, they miss a lot of the other things that he says. But here we have we're gonna play this video for you. Fair use. I'm not sure which podcast this is on.
A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
I disagree. I disagree. Now, the only reason why she disagrees is because black women will actually give the man that they like money, right? But the men that they usually do financially help are like SoundCloud rappers and drug dealers and criminals. Like when it's like Umar Johnson is speaking on the average black man, but at the same time, the average black woman, even the nerd girls, they don't look at the average, say, nerdy black dude or regular black dude as a first option. First option are the criminals and the scammers and these people. Then it's the athletes. Then it's the if you're a rapper or somebody. Then they'll, if not that, then maybe a girl. And then I'm talking about like last place is the average man, and that's really the same across all races. It's that mentality is kind of across all races, but it's like to the extreme when it comes to the black community. Meaning, like if you are a black dude, if you're not like if you are a black dude in a black community, you want to deal with black women, and you're in a predominantly black community, or you're at a predominantly if you're at a school with a lot of black people in it, right? If genetically they don't find you attractive, you better be a trapper, a when I mean trapper, I mean you better be some kind of scammer, drug dealer, criminal, etc. A rapper or a 5-star athlete. I mean, and I'm talking about you can't just be any athlete. You need to be a star. You need to be a star athlete. And if you're not any of those three that I mentioned, I'm talking about you're gonna get no chance of play, no chance. You got to be one of the three, because at least if you are from a different race, and say if you're a nerdy type dude, there's somebody out there for you. It might not be the type of girl that you want, but there will be somebody. If you are of another race, and say if you are a dude that maybe not that attractive, or if you don't do any of the three that I said, I'm not saying you're going to get first dibs, but you'll find somebody. But when it comes to the black community, if you are a man and you're not any of the three that I mentioned, and you're not genetically attractive, you have no shot with the women in your community. The only time you will have a shot with them is when you are 30 and they are 30 plus, and they have 4 kids from 3 different dudes, and then they will think about considering you as an option then. That's unfortunately how it works. Usually in the black community, it gets to the extreme level. You know what I mean? So let's replay this video one more time, and I want to break down certain parts in what he said, because what Dr. Umar Johnson said is kind of correct, but it's incomplete. And I'm just going to fill in the blanks a little bit as he speaks.
A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And
So the type of black man that he's speaking on is the average black man. This is the average black man that's like, he may be not the OD hit the genetic lottery, but he's in school, he's just doing what he can, or he has a regular job. He is a regular, normal black man. If you're a normal black man, most likely it's going to be harder for you if you're not socially like the average, like socially awkward black man. You have no shot. But with black women, the only time black women are going to be want to be up under you is, and they're and you're a socially awkward black guy, is that they're purely using you for money. They're gonna be asking you, "Oh man, I'm hungry. I need food. I need. Do you have Cash App?" That's what they do. If they find out you're a quote unquote lame and you have no game, they're gonna try to use you for money. This is Unfortunately, this is what black women do at that age to the average black man that is not up on game. They try to they be using the hell out of them. Now, what ends up happening is, if that same average black dude, if he goes to school to another community, I'm not saying the other women are not using him, but they will be sympathetic to the fact that he's a little bit different and he's getting used to something different. So they will approach him differently. They're not gonna OD try to use him all, you know. It's they're not gonna be going up to him asking him for his Cash App and stuff like that, get his number, asking him to do stuff like. They're not gonna do that to him. So it's gonna be a different experience for that young black man. And it's gonna be different type of girls actually willing to give him a chance, as opposed to if he stayed in his community. Because if you're the average black man, or if you're the average black man that's not there yet, because most men in general, regardless of race, it takes them a little bit longer to get to where they need to be financially or goal wise or body type wise. It takes men longer for them to grow into their body type. It takes men longer for them to grow into their looks. You know what I mean? Most men are not there, are not physically mature, and in their late teens and you know early 20s. It takes them a little bit while. That's why men that physically mature faster tend to get rewarded earlier by the girls that they like in high school, college, middle school, right, etc. That's what happened, to me when I was younger, because I was physically more mature than most at a younger age, so I got a different type of attention. But that's what happened. But but most men don't get there, So if you're the average black man, you're not getting what you want in your community, but then you go to outside, it's just gonna be a different experience, and the average black is like, well, let me try something different.
And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to stay with me.
So when she says, I disagree, you need to understand the perspective where she's coming from. She's coming from the perspective of, no, I know a lot of black women that their boyfriends, they had their SoundCloud rappers, whatever. Like, when she's saying I disagree, she's talking about the drug dealers and the scam artists and the unemployed dudes, the dudes that really ain't had nothing going for them in the first place, or the basically the irresponsible dude. The irresponsible dudes, the dudes with criminal records, tattoos, all that stuff. What else? I mentioned drug dealer already, right? So those type of dudes, those are the dudes that they will financially invest in. Those are the ones that they will try to stay loyal to. Not the dudes that are in college, not the dudes that are holding her accountable, not the dudes that are in school and just trying to keep it normal. Not the dude that's, just trying to be like a plumber or an electrician. Not those dudes. Those dudes don't exist as an option to a woman like that. The woman that you just heard. So the woman that instantly disagreed, because she's just gonna look back at her experience. She's like, oh no, I had a boyfriend and he didn't make no money. Yeah, I bet you she did. And the dude had no future. They don't like the Russell Wilson types only until they already have a baby with the future types, and then they'll go after the Russell Wilson types. They don't go after the Russell Wilson types in their sexual prime, because in their sexual prime, they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be responsible. They're not trying to be held to a standard. They want to be able to have that freedom. Because the thing is, when you are with a Russell Wilson type, archetype, or just the average black dude, or the a decent black dude, he's not perfect, but he's decent, and people know it. The thing is, when you're with a dude like that, now the woman has to be held accountable. Now you hold up your end of the bargain. Now people are gonna be like, okay, you're with a good dude. Now what are you doing? And women have figured out that they don't. Oh, I can just skirt that responsibility until I'm burnt out, and then I will go for a guy like that. And by that time, I won't even have the energy to do anything anyways. So women have, that's what a lot of black women, like, they'll try to do, like, like they'll openly, practice dual mating strategy, where they'll literally have a baby by a guy that they know is not going to be there. They know it. They know it. And then once they have the baby, then they find a quote unquote educated lame to pick up the pieces. Crazy how that works. But this is a lot of black women's, dating strategy, and a lot of women's dating strategy really in general nowadays. But like I said, when it comes to the black community, it gets to extreme levels.
Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up.
Notice how she kept interrupting the whole time. He had to tell him, like, hey, stay with me now. Stay with me.
And become what you need them to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line.
So by that time, but like, he's talking about the black men that are trying to become, engineers, lawyers, architects, right? These type of people, so, software engineers, uh, uh people in the STEM field, people in black men in tech. But those guys are considered what they call those educated lames. You know what I mean? And women are not really trying to be exclusive to a guy like that. They're not. They're more likely to be, and it doesn't even. People keep talking about, no, they need to go after nerdy girls. I said, even the nerdy black girls, Pookie is always in their vicinity. They're always going. They're. I always say it like this: when it comes to black women, unfortunately, their heart belongs to Pookie. There's no even debate about it. And I don't care if you think she's a nerd girl, whatever. Her heart always belongs to Pookie. Your best bet in terms of, if you want to date a black woman, if you just okay, I have to date a black woman. You can't really date a black woman whose parents were born here. You need to basically deal with a black woman that's where their parents came from out of the country and they instilled some different type of values in her, and or just basically date a black woman from overseas where she's coming from a different culture. Because if you're gonna date an American black woman that's from here, especially if you're talking about in your 20s or at a certain age, man, you're really going up against it. You're really going up against it. Even if you are dealing with a quote unquote good black woman per se, right? It's gonna be somebody in the background, dog. It's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be somebody trying to mess you up in your program. Unfortunately,
The snow bunny done snatched him already.
So of course she disagrees, but she doesn't understand, like, the average black man, that's just the decent black man, whatever. That man is invisible to her, and this is something that all men are starting to figure out, that really, if you're the average man is now invisible to most women, and most women want nothing to do with the average man. Like, they're like not even close to like a top 10 option for the average woman, because today's average woman want nothing to do with the average man. It's a completely different, dating market now, nowadays. But especially when it comes to, if you're talking about the black community, it's always going to be more extreme. That's why I laugh when black women don't understand. It'll be like they'll see like certain black dudes with a white girl, and they won't get it. Or how about this? They'll see like certain dudes with like they'll see like certain like rich CEOs with a woman, and they'll be like, I don't get it. Why is it? She's not the model type. Or they'll see like a Kawhi Leonard with his wife, right? And I remember seeing women trying to talk crazy about his girl or his wife, and you don't even know the history behind that, right? Or they'll see these CEOs with their wives, and they don't understand. A lot of those women that you see, they were there from like the beginning. Like I'm talking about the beginning. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to like to those tech guys, they don't really have nothing to offer but really potential, and they invest in that early. The problem is when it comes to black women, they don't know how to properly invest in the type of man that will be good for them. They be investing in dudes that be that be like 26 and still don't have their GED and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So this is something that I wanted to add in on this topic. But I already know what's gonna happen in the comment section. It's gonna be it's gonna be all types of simps, black male simps, misconstruing what I'm saying, like they usually do when I make videos like this. Or it's gonna be other black women trying to act like I hate black women and all this stuff. When all really I'm speaking on the economics really side of things. Or just really just the social dynamics of young dating life for the youth. So it is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see in the comment section. It's always funny in the comment section.